Alrighty, guys. Well, welcome back to another episode of the On-Site Insight podcast. I'm your host, Corey Tompkins, and today we have a very special guest, Monique. It's episode 43 for you guys that are listening. Monique's going to come on here and share a bit about her journey. I want to thank you again.
No, thanks for having me on here.
We chatted a little bit off camera just before we were recording anyway. Just about the normal sort of stuff. But if you want to share with the listeners a little bit about you, and then we'll get going.
Okay, well, so my name's Monique. I'm a bricklayer as well. I am an ex-hairdresser by trade, and then I got into the bricklaying industry from after completing my hairdressing apprenticeship. I left school quite young from being bullied, so that's how I got into hairdressing quite young. And then when I was completing my apprenticeship, I just wasn't really happy in the trade. But I think, getting into an apprenticeship so young at the age of 14, 15, it's so hard. You don't know what you want to do with your life. And then it was also a bit of a push for me to just get out of school, really. Mm-hmm. So I completed my apprenticeship, and then I did my Cert 3 in makeup as well during my qualified year of hairdressing. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I really just decided that it wasn't really the industry I wanted to be in at the time anyway. Mm-hmm. So I started looking at so many different pathways in career to go down. I literally was looking at universities, going to join the police force, firefighting, looking at everything. And then that's when I was like, why not try another apprenticeship? So I started looking at pre-apprenticeships online through the TAFE websites. And then, I saw the painting, carpentry, all the things, but then bricklaying was one of the ones that actually stood out to me the most. Yeah. And I think it was more because it's very similar to hairdressing for the sense that it is a lot of attention to detail. Mm-hmm. I know you're using your hands, it's hands-on physical learning as well. And then, so anyway, I gave it a go with a family friend. Polar opposite, but yeah. But I gave it a go with a family friend for a couple of weeks for free and absolutely loved it. And then pretty much from there I did my pre-up and then got my apprenticeship, and then here I am today.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. It's crazy. I was actually sitting in here with Nick just before, and I was like, man, because when I was reading through it, I was like, it's crazy. From hairdressing to bricklaying or blocklaying. Yeah. It's it couldn't be further away. But what was I guess you sort of said you found it. I think that sounds so easy to put it into words, you found the passion for it. Was the family friend sort of the thing that you lent on at the start? You knew that they were doing it. You said you started doing it with them. Did you do your apprenticeship with them?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, so I guess the thing that drove me more towards it as well, especially for the facts of it being so physical, was, people have a few eating disorders and stuff as they grow up. So I definitely have always struggled a lot with weight and everything. Mm-hmm. So I think for me, wanting to keep fit and use it as a workout was definitely what drew me towards looking more at that trade at that time. Mm-hmm. But then when
did you trial other ones, or was it just one and done situation?
No, it was just the bricklaying. Because I went to my mum and I was like, what do you think about it? And then she's like, you can give it a go. What have you got to lose? My dad said something else, but so anyway, she was like, well, I have got my best friend's ex-husband's a bricklayer. Why don't you go do a couple a day with him one Monday when you have off the salon and give it a go. Yeah. So I did. And then just being on site, it was just good. It was just not professional. I was running around doing shit. The boys were just having a laugh all day. I actually enjoyed it. I had so much fun. And, a couple of hours in, I was dead. But then, I just loved it. It was just something different. Yeah. And I guess fun. And, I didn't have a lot of friends either. So even just the fact of me getting along with the boys and just having friends as well, rather than working at a salon where it was all 40, 50-year-olds, So.
And that comes with its own challenges too. I think a lot of guys don't understand that, because my wife's been in that environment as well. I think a lot of people that have got partners, in that job role, whether it's hair salon, a lot of people that might be in nursing and stuff like that, where it's female dominated. Yeah. That comes with its own challenges as well. It can be a bit of a bitchy environment, people talking about you and talking about this. That's what I hear anyway. It can be very full on.
Yeah. So the hairdressing wasn't so bad with the salon that I was at, but it was just very much older clientele and stuff. So for me, it was a bit different again.
Yeah. So your apprenticeship lasted 4 years entirely, or did you cut it, or were you able to get done
Was
faster?
This for the
bricklaying?
Bricklaying? I did that in 3 years. So I did my apprenticeship in Perth because I'm from Perth. Mm-hmm. I completed that in the 3 years. I actually got signed off a few months early. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up changing teams from there and, you know, went and worked with another team for a little bit, as you do. And then within, I think it was like 6 to 8 months of being qualified, I then started my business. So I had my own bricklaying business in Perth for just over a year.
That's good.
And then I decided I wanted to move cities. So I pretty much, I've still got my trailer and everything at home, so I can just pick it up and start up again whenever I want to go back there. But yeah, I pretty much had to close it all up to move over here. So
East Coast,
bit of a lifestyle change, but
yeah, sweet. So during your apprenticeship, because I bet you it wasn't, you know, it probably wasn't all smooth sailing the whole way. At what point, because surely there was a point where you were like, did you ever contemplate of throwing it in? Was it ever a thought in your mind, like the pay, the hot days, that summer? Like maybe there was an altercation. I don't know. Like the reason why I ask is because I have this bit of a thing about apprentices where they usually hit that 18-month mark, right? And that's usually when doubt because the pay usually doesn't change at that point. Your technical skills have increased, so you're actually doing more work essentially, and you know you're too far in it to quit. But yet you're also like, you're just questioning everything. But I always think that if you get over that hump, you'll finish it and everything will be sweet. But I usually find that about that 18-month period, that year and a half in, that's usually when it, you know, because all that, as you said, that first day when you went there, it was like the honeymoon stage, right? Everything was new.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Like songs were playing, the weather was fucking sweet. But then that all goes away as time goes on.
Yeah.
And so, you know, how were you able to like manage that?
I think, I definitely did. Like, you know, you get a bit over it. At that time, it was just me and my boss as well that were working on site. You know, days definitely got a bit boring. Like, you know, you're like, I have to go to work.
That's what I mean. Like same banter. It's like,
you kind of get a bit sick of it. But at the same time, like, I think like my dad's probably like the best thing that happened like with me and my family, because he's like very old school, like hard head screwed on kind of thing. Like, you know, we never had sick days at school. Like if we were sick, we had to go. And then like, you know, big believer in like not quitting your job and anything, like, you know, stick it out. I think we were built a little bit tough, like from like him and even my mum as well. But I think quitting was never an option for me. Like even the same with hairdressing, mum's like, as soon as I left school, she was like, if you get an apprenticeship, you're sticking to it. And I never ever, like, even though I hated hairdressing, like towards the end, I still didn't quit because what's the point? Like, unless I knew what I was going to do. But no, I've never thought, like, if you've put your mind to something, you might as well at least get the certificate. And like I see kids that do get to that 18-month mark. I've actually had a few mates in Perth that have actually ended up quitting their apprenticeships. But that's also purely because they just want the better pay. So they just...
That's what I mean. And I think it's crazy because like I see it so often all the time. Whether it's in carpentry or plumbing, apprentices just as a whole, that it's like it's more of a mental thing. You know, you can lean on, I don't like the style of work now, I don't like the pay or anything like that. You know, I was sort of the same, and hence why I was talking to you off camera about the podcast. And, you know, I sat on the decision for ages because I'm such a strong believer in that if you're going to do something, do it all the way or just don't do it at all. You know, and I think the mentality of a lot of the guys that are coming through, it's like, oh, well, if it's too hard, you know, life's too short, why do something that you hate? That's what I find. There's a lot of guys just say that and they're just like, fuck it. And they just throw it in. Where I'm like, dude, like, everyone goes, oh, you should do what you love to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but that's the hard thing as well, because like there's so much, and this is why social media is like the worst thing for everyone, because, you know, everyone's saying like, do the things that you want to do and do these amazing dream jobs. And I was like, half the time when you think about all this shit that you're watching online, how miserable are they creating that content to post? Like, because I know how hard it is editing videos and stuff, just like little things like that. But it's the same with like anything, but you know, you can have the big picture and stuff, but like at the end of the day, do what makes you happy. But also you're gonna have your ups and downs anyway, no matter
100%.
what.
Like even me, everyone probably looks and they're like, oh, you know, like I love what I do, but I don't love everything about it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Dude,
exactly
I don't love stressing about things and like. But you have what I always say to my apprentices is you got to find joy in, you know, in something. You're not gonna it doesn't matter what you do. I don't care if you love fishing, I guarantee you if you did that every single day for the rest of your life, you probably wouldn't love it.
Yeah,
like, it's just, I don't know. I just, that whole mentality of like, I literally had an apprentice leave me twice. He started, left because he wanted to do day trading or something, come back, left again. And then, you know, I ended up getting rid of him that other time.
Yeah.
But his mentality was the same. He's just like, oh, why would I keep doing this? Like, I'm so young. I need to be doing what I love to do. I'm wasting time. And I kept saying to him, you're only wasting time if you fucking quit.
Yeah.
That's the only time. I said, once you're qualified, hey, move down to Byron Bay, go and smoke weed, go and fucking make coffees for the rest of I don't care. But I just say to him, like, you need to finish your apprenticeship.
Yeah.
If you don't, if you start it and go 2 years in and quit, in my eyes, I feel like that's a waste.
Yeah, it is. And then, like, at the end of the day, like, if he wants to go do his traveling or, like, you know, a little gap year or whatever, like, he can come back to it when he's 30, 40 years old if, you know, everything else fails or whatever. Like, at least he's got the piece of paper and, like, the bit of knowledge behind him that he can get back into it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. All right. There's so much to talk about. So, moving from Perth to the East Coast, did you move to Brisbane first? Like, what, when, how did all that eventuate? What was the geo with that?
I think I feel like I just like always want to be doing something new. So I'm constantly wanting to grow. I feel like I got to a point in Perth, like even though I had my business and everything, like, yeah, it was hard. It was shit having really bad employees, you know, people unreliable and everything. But I
skipped that part as well. So we're going to go back and ask you about that.
But yeah, I just got to a point like, yeah, I had the business, I had my like podcast and everything. Like everything was going really well. Like I actually was probably more successful there than I am now currently at the situation I'm in at the moment.
Yeah.
But I was just getting really bored. I feel like I just wasn't really enjoying myself. I went and did 6 weeks in America as a holiday. And then when I came back from that, I was like, there's so much more to life than just doing what I'm doing. Because all I was doing was going to work, coming home from work, going to the gym. That's literally my life. And then like, you know, I'd socialize a little bit on weekends. But even then, you know, it wasn't really that great. And I was just like, nah, I want to just do something different. So the plan was originally just to move to Brisbane for like, you know, 6 months to a year and just do a bit of a gap year. But then now I've been here like over a year and a half and I don't see myself really going back. I do go back all the time to go see my family and everything. But, you know, I wanted to upskill. I wanted to pursue my podcast and like, you know, make that like grow a lot more. And then, you know, just focus on a bit more like the social side and just how I can like be more of like a mentor to women in trades, just do more for the industry and just a bit of a lifestyle change. So it's taken me a long time to settle. Like I feel like I'm only just now starting to settle. So now I'm actually starting to work back on my career and focus on like the bigger picture. But for the last like year and a half, it's been really hard just trying to settle in. Didn't realize how hard it is to move cities, especially on my own.
But did you have, was there friends? Like why Brisbane? Why not Sydney? And what was the?
So Brisbane, I guess, like was the option for me because like one, Melbourne's too cold. Sydney, I've never really been much for Sydney. It's always just like too surfery for me. And then Brisbane was like the second closest city to Perth for the fact that like very similar. Like, you know, it's pretty much Perth, just like a lot busier. So yeah, that's just what drove me to Brisbane really.
And you picked up a job. How did so
I contacted Brick and Block Careers. So you might know Brick and Block Careers. I contacted them, was just like, hey, do you know any bricklayers in Brisbane? Because I actually tried Googling and it was quite hard to Google them. Because I was like, in Perth, you just type in like bricklaying jobs and it's just like subcontractors because it's so different. Then you come here and it's like all companies and I'm like, oh. But I got a couple contacts. So I moved over with one company to start with and then I was with them for probably about 5 months and then I got offered another company with better pay and like better opportunities. Pretty much. So I ended up moving to them and I've been now with them. MG now for a while.
That's good.
And I love it there. It's great. He's such a good boss.
There was no family here, no friends here.
No, so I knew 3 girls from Kentucky. And then I caught up with one of them once. And then that was it. Like I thought that I could maybe try and like be friends with them, but no, it just never really happened. So I was like, oh, so
only why on the Kentucky, and then once you get back to reality, it's like
much. But then and then it was just like I was thinking like I'd make friends for housemates. Nope. So I ended up meeting most of my friends now. I actually met one through flatmates, and then all my other girlfriends now all from Farmer.
We're gonna talk about that. All right, sweet. So the business in Perth and how that eventuated. What was that driver with you? Why did you? Because we get a lot of guys that ask, right? That, as I sort of said before when we first started, about, you know, a lot of guys at that road point where they're finished, they might have been doing it, as you said, you're in that mundane thing, you're going to work every day, blah, 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 you want something different. So a lot of guys are like, fuck, like, what do I do? I want to go out on my own. So for me, like, what was, you know, what was the driving force for that? Because it's not easy to fucking go out there and do your own business. Like, you got to find your own clients. How did that look? you know, and being a not like being a female brick, like it's not, you know, not to sound a certain way, but like it's hard. It's hard in fucking general.
Yeah.
Right. But what advice or how would you like, well, number one, why? And number two, you know, how did it end up going?
So, God, I can't even think of what to say now. So I think I just got to a point where I was like, so the money started being really good in Perth as well. But then I was just working for someone every day and I was like, I know every single aspect of building a house. I was like, I don't know why I'm working for someone for like less money when I can just be making it all myself. Yep. So pretty much I guess that's what kind of drew me into starting my business. And I was like, you know, I get bored. Like, so I'm like, okay, what can I do now? Because I'm always wanting to like grow and do new things and challenge. So I was just like, okay, now I'm a bricklayer. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be a bricklayer. I want to be a business owner. So that was like my drive. I was like, I can do this. I want to do this. And then for me getting jobs and everything, it wasn't too bad because I had built such a big like name and foundation for myself throughout my whole apprenticeship in Perth. And then through Celebration Homes, which was the building company that I mostly contracted through, which we did our apprenticeship, I did my apprenticeship through.
Yeah.
They already knew of me and everything. So as soon as they found out that I was going on the tools, they were like really actually excited for me. So they were like, yep, we'll give you jobs and everything. So I got them like pretty easy, I guess. Like, you know, when you are good at what you do or like, you know, you're passionate about what you do and you've got the contacts and networking and you do that through your apprenticeship, then, you know, there's always going to be jobs available for you, you know?
Yeah.
Just don't ever put a bad name out there for yourself. Like, you know, if you have a shit client, you still just got to suck it up and be nice to them, you know?
Yeah. Every day. Yeah.
So, yeah, I did that. And then I got a lot of boys from just, I did weld skills, like a bricklaying competition. So I met one of my longest employees through that. So he was working for another company. And then when I started my business, I was like, hey, do you want to come over? And then I offered him more and everything. And then he was like, yep. So he wanted to come over as well, just to be with like another young person really.
Yeah.
And then I just had other friends that I met through TAFE and everything. So I ended up asking them if they wanted to work with me and stuff. So I had a few.
Yeah.
And then it was, besides the ones that I knew, I couldn't really get anyone. I don't think I actually had anyone that I didn't know because it's so hard. Like I had so many jobs up and no one wanted to work for a girl. I had ads up and then some people would call me and then they'd be like, hey, like, you know, is this job available? And I'm like, yep. And then they were like, oh, are you the owner? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, and then some hung up the phone straight away. And I was like, rude. And then others just didn't show up either. So it was really hard to get employees.
Yeah. Was it everything that you imagined it would be? Or was it
Pretty much. Like I knew it was going to be shit.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, legit. It's like,
I knew it was going to be stressful.
Were you driving the G-Wagon 3 months later and were you living in Dubai or what? Was it? Yeah, because like it's crazy. Like I feel like when people go out and start, I don't know if they think that it's going to be something that it's not. It's like, dude, it's shit, man. It's hard. Like that first squeeze is fuck, you're learning everything. Yeah. You know, you're on the tools. You just, fuck.
Yeah. No, well, I knew that like, because even my dad said this, he was like, make sure you save everything. Like, you know, you need to put like 30% for tax and then the 10% GST and stuff. So pretty much what I was doing was I was paying myself less than I was getting with my old employee just because I wanted to make sure I kept the money in the business account because when I knew that when it came to tax time and BAS and everything that I was going to be like,
what the fuck? I already paid my tax.
I know.
What's this other thing?
Every quarter I was paying my BAS with a little bit of tax and I still got this massive tax bill. Oh my God, but I had the money for it because I kept putting it away. But yeah, like you honestly like, I reckon if I had like stayed in Perth for the last like year and a half, I definitely would have made more money now. But you know, the first year of business is always going to be hard. So if I had kept my business, I'd be doing well. But like I did well enough, but like, you know, I only did it for a year and a half. So
would you bring it over here?
I wanted to, and that was something like I do want to look into, but I haven't done enough of yet just because like it's really confusing for me with like the QBCC licenses and everything. And like I'm just a bit confused on how everything works. And then because I've gone from residential to now commercial here in Brisbane, like everything's so different. So I've pretty much done my 4th year apprenticeship here in Brisbane because I'm doing block laying now instead of bricklaying. It's a completely different world.
Yeah, no, the QBCC will if there's something that they can stamp a fee on, they will. Yeah. It's, I think for us, we got to pay like 7 individual licenses. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
So that was the other option, was even just like hitting my boss up now and just being like, look, can I kind of do something like under yours or, you know, look into different ways. But that's something we're looking into now.
No, that's good. All right. Moving on. All right, guys, congratulations. You're halfway through this episode. I hope you guys are really enjoying it. But first, I just want to make a special thank you to Ideal Group Australia. Without them, I wouldn't be able to bring this podcast to you. So special thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying it. buckle in and get ready to listen to the end of this episode. Now, obviously we're on the TV, some reality TV show. Was this also another thing that you were like fucking getting bored of just doing the mundane thing? You're like, I want to try something new.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No, so I was on Farmer Wants a Wife, and I wanted. So originally, I don't know how much I can say actually, but like I applied for your top 3 farmers that you want to go for, and then I was paired with someone else that I thought I was more compatible with. So it wasn't any of my like top 3, but I was like, I'm interested. Like if you think I'm more compatible with him, then yeah, absolutely, I'll give it a go. And then obviously online dating and everything is just so hard. I hate it. I don't date. I don't like it. Absolutely hate dating. So I was like, I'll go do it. So it's an experience. Like I might actually like meet someone. Like I was interested in like getting to know him and actually, hopefully maybe fall in love.
Yeah.
But then, I think it was like pretty soon that we realized that, we were just more friends than anything, But it was such a good experience. Like I made like a lot of friends from it and everything as well. So it was a good experience, like a whole nother life chapter that you can
And when was that?
from.
When did you?
So we actually filmed that in like October, November of 2024. And then it was only aired this year. Yeah.
So it's recent.
Yeah. So it's only
yeah.
just been aired, the last couple of weeks, months now.
Yeah, sweet.
So yeah.
So you get noticed at the shops. No, I can't sign you can't sign anything.
No,
Yeah.
actually I haven't. I was judging the
palming
wheel
them
skills
off,
competition and I had a few people approach me then because this was like when it was still airing. But then besides that, I've literally had nothing. It was just kind of good though. Like it's not too bad. Like, but yeah.
You were low-key sort of hoping probably like, I'm going to blow up. Yeah.
Just like, no.
Yeah. No, that's good. All right. So continuing on. You're fully qualified now. You've been in Brisbane for a year
Year and a half, which is over a year and a half. Yeah.
Ish. All right. So I guess for me now is what, have you got anything in the works moving forward? Are you wanting to reignite your podcast that you had in Perth here now? How's that all looking for you now that you're here?
So at the moment, it's still up in the air. I am trying to lean a lot more in towards like, obviously just like mentoring with trades. I do want to bring my podcast back, but like the biggest thing for me at the moment is still trying to find somewhere to do it. Because I did a few episodes, but I did one in one of the flatmates that I was living with at the house there. And then, living situations. I've moved 5 times in the last year.
Yeah.
So I've just got nowhere at the moment. And then it was like, obviously a lot of expenses going in towards it.
Yeah.
And then I've had a lot on. So it's now just trying to find more time before I can start, committing to that again. Because like I don't want to just start it back up and then it will fail. Because I actually did have a co-host that I was going to do it with.
Yeah.
We did a few episodes and then she quit on me. And I was like, well, that was great.
You can't rely on anyone other than yourself.
I know. So I'm like, no, never doing that again.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's kind of just, it's still a bit up in the air. I am studying something at the moment, but I'm also looking at maybe like what else I can, because obviously I do want to actually get off the tools. Like, it's not ideal for me to stay on the tools. Like I want to have a kid, I want to have kids and a family and everything like eventually. So I'm trying to navigate how I'm going to get off the tools and, what I'm more passionate about because, it's hard. I don't want to go down an avenue where I'm going to be bored and then quit again. So I'm looking at things to do, but so I'm thinking I should do like my project management or something perhaps. So, it's just looking into like those
avenues
pathways
on how you
as
do
well.
it. Yeah, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. Like we get a lot of guys that reach out about there in that road as well. They want to get off the tools and that.
Yeah.
And I guess my biggest thing that I say to a lot of them is like, don't force it. Like it'll come naturally. I think if you decide that that's what you want to do, if you force it, I think you'll do your ass in. I think it won't sort of happen in an organic way, if that makes sense. I think if you put yourself in a position, you speak to the people in and around you, whether it's your employer, a family friend, fucking something, you say, listen, that's what I'm doing. Like it sparks the ears of those guys, and then they will maneuver you in a way to put you in that position, that opportunity to do it. Or you can go the route like. Prime example, we've got Kelly. He was actually just a carpenter for me. That was it. He's been off the tools now. He's an estimator / operations manager. But he can have that job title and then leave me and go elsewhere and do that same job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But he's got no university degree, no like further education. It's just like he put himself in a position for the opportunity. I put it forward to him and he took it.
Yeah.
It obviously required, and I think this is another thing that I usually talk about, is the I will get back to us, but it's like I think a lot of guys get a false hope when they go from being on the tools. I feel like the guys on the tools, they should and they do earn the best amount of money. Rightfully fucking so. Like for my guys, they do. They earn more money than any person that I got in the office. You know, because they're sweating their ass out, they're working. Like it's hard.
Yeah.
Right? They're breaking their body. So, but then when you go to make the transition to go back on the tools, I always use the analogy that you just start an apprenticeship again. But you have to be okay with that. So that usually comes with a pay cut.
Yeah.
It comes from starting from the ground again.
Yep.
You know, and you're just doing an apprenticeship again. Like, you know, that was a tough conversation, tough pill to swallow. But then as I said to him, like, well, you take 2 steps back to take 1 step forward.
Yep. I've already had the pay cut. Moving here and going back to being an employee, that was a lesson learned too. But you know, you do adjust.
Yeah, it happens, and I think we were talking a little bit before about what's going to happen with the trades in Brisbane. Like I think Brisbane is going to go gangbusters. I think the statistics are saying that we're going to be in the lowest, like the labour shortage will be at the lowest point in March. I think it's March or May next year or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Meaning, so what happens then is that obviously if we're in the lowest point, there's not enough people to build these things in the commercial space and residential. Fucking guys just end up wanting more money. Rightfully fucking so. Like it's ridiculous. Like, every 3-4 months it's more money. Yeah. So the prices just go up and up and up. And that's why I keep saying to these young guys in the apprentice that either looking to do an apprenticeship or fucking finish their fucking apprenticeship is you'll be in like, by the time in like 10, 15 years time, we'll be so behind the 8 ball, Australia as a whole. I reckon trades will be earning $200,000. Like it would be so normal. It would be so normal because you'll be so, you won't be able to get them. It'll be like, name your price, dude. Like you'll get a phone call and be like, hey, I need this block wall built. How much?
Yeah, but it's rightfully so though, because I feel like trades are the ones that are always getting the pay rise way behind like every other.
I think trades have been fucked for so long.
Yeah.
Like we've been short paid. Brisbane especially. I don't know what it was like over in Perth. But it has taken so long for Brisbane for the subbies, for guys like myself that are business owners in the space, guys on the ground, for that fucking change to happen. And then everyone was going, when it did happen, everyone was going, oh yeah, but you wait, they'll all want more, like, they'll all be coming back at fucking cheaper rates. Like they were saying that 3 years ago. Literally, they were saying that 3 years ago
they can't go back down
we
now.
Would be, the pays would come back down. You just wait, like, And then, those guys never got their shit built, or now their jobs are delayed massively. And it's like, I am such a big believer that it will never go back down to what it was. If anything, it's gonna like 5 times as much over the next 6-7 years. It's gonna be absolutely ridiculous. But anyway. Moving on from that. All right. So the podcast journey, I think we talked about that before. All right. Because we get a lot of guys that are thinking about doing a podcast. What tips would you give them if they were thinking about doing it? And second question, why did you start yours? What was the pivot direction? What was the meaning for it?
So I think
I love asking that question because a lot of people ask me that fucking question.
Yeah.
Why are you doing the podcast? I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, I don't know. No, I wanted to do it because I wanted to give more to the industry. Like, especially being a woman in trade, I don't think there's like not many other women that have had podcasts. And for me, it was just like bringing leadership and success stories to the table because there's obviously trades have such a bad name anyway. So it's just like I want to bring inspiration of there's so much more to do than just the trade. So just having people of leadership, people who have done multi-million-dollar businesses, bringing awareness to mental health and wellness. I've had mates in construction, trademark, a couple of those big mentorship programs on there as well. And just being how they went from being a chippy and now they're mates in construction or trademark. Sorry. Yeah. And just what the reason is behind that, and it's just having the background story of it's something that they've seen a vision in and they've gone and pursued that goal and they've, created this thing for themselves and they wanted to do more as well.
Yeah.
And it's the same, when I've had like architects on there and everything, it's just like, you know, there's so much more than just, doing your trade.
Yeah.
So it was just a bit of that. And then I had like a few other like women in trades on there as well, just to like, just hear a little bit about their story and how they're going, any struggles they've had and just how they're finding the trade in general. So just a bit of everything really. Like mine's, I guess, very like wide variety as well. But it was definitely more like towards like the leadership and success stories.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So if someone was looking to start out, what would you give them? What would you say to them? Other than you need to find a space.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you definitely need to find space. Yeah. And don't move cities even when you're halfway through it. But no, just have like a bit of a clearer goal because, I had such a wide variety of topics that I wanted to have on my podcast. And then I feel like I half got overwhelmed as well and was just like, oh my God, like where is this going? Because I had so many different people, like, I was going down the mindset pathway, why we should like look after our bodies in trades, which is definitely the whole point in it. But then I also had like, these success stories and, so I mean, I still like that it was that wide variety, but definitely have like a clearer goal. Like that still was my wide range and it still is my wide range. But like, if you're going to do something that's more like strictly plumbing, then, look at all the different niches that you can have in there and,
it's hard. Let me just say for you guys that are thinking about doing it, it is harder than it seems 100%. Because a lot of the time for me, it really depends on the guest. Like we're talking, it's going with flow, but like, like sometimes you really got to extract the bit out of them. Like
I learned that
a lot of people
quick.
don't like being on camera. They don't like the lights, blah, blah, blah. They freeze up. I always use this analogy with Nick. It's like, as soon as the mics are off, like we've literally had it in times where we'll be talking like this. I'll rap. Like I'll say, yep, no, thank you guys. I'll see you on the next one. We'll put the mics down. Fucking bang instantly, like we'll be like getting the best part, like we'll just start talking.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Nick will be like, he'll like look at me and we'll be like, fuck, like, and he'll be like, and then they leave and he's like, fuck, we should have just like put the mic back to their fucking mouth. But it's like, it's, you do learn the art of it, and I think you got to maneuver the conversation. It might not always go. Some of them are awkward, some of them are good. I don't know. I love it all. It's all good, but
because I had so I think like originally I wanted it to be like tradies as well, because like I wanted to just have like the general everyday tradie as well. And then I had a couple tradies come on. I actually had a few episodes that I did record that I didn't air at all because they were just terrible. Because it was very much like, I was like, what do you do for trade? Oh yeah, like I'm a painter. I'm like, okay, cool. So like, what's cool about being painting? And they're like, oh, like, just, and I'm like, okay, so it's just trying to navigate. That's when I started going to more towards, like the people that have guests are more familiar around cameras. Like, they've got like the companies and like the background that you can talk more about rather than just like the everyday tradie, because they're not like, some of them just are just a bit more like
what we find, like, I don't know, you've dealt with Nick, like we do other things like similar to that. But I think breaking the barrier at the start, like with the questionnaires and stuff like that, and like communicating with them, like that's sort of what sort of helped us. But then even then, like we've had guests that have come on fucking just like pounded us with the massive questionnaire, like told us everything about him. I'm thinking, oh yeah, this, like even Nick will be like, oh no, he sounds real good. And we get in there, it's fucking like, like tell me about you. It's like, oh yeah, I'm an architect. I was like, oh okay, like what sort of houses? Oh, like these sort of houses. I'm like,
And it's worse when you don't know like half the time what they're on about, because like when I had my architects on, he was actually good because he was doing a lot of talking. Yeah. But then half the time I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So bad. Dude, oh God, love it. But it's all networking and learning at the end of the day. So you're learning everyone's stories.
I've had like people in here that like they're in the wrong profession, and I'm like talking to them like they're in a different profession, and they're like, I don't even do that. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, if you're looking to do it, I think I was talking to you off camera about it. I think the biggest piece of advice that I got is just you need like think about it before you fucking, because it does cost a bit as well. You got to get not so much cameras, but the mics, the audio, like that costs thousands of dollars as well. Yep. And then once you make the decision, like, hey, you got to stick with it. Like there are times where like my schedule might be pumped, but Nick's still got to cut it in. Like we still got to do it. I just stay committed. Yeah. I think we've only ever missed one. I think there's only ever been one time that we've missed, and that was for a reason I can't say. But yeah, that was only ever one time. Other than that, we've never missed.
And I think the other thing is as well, plan like your first 5 to 10 episodes, because at least when you have 5 to 10 episodes pre-planned, then you know that like how it's going to go, and like, you know, or you've got enough to be able to keep going.
And I guess for you had to edit and cut your first ones. Fucking, I remember like the first like 2 or 3 that I did not even listen to them. I did not even listen. Like, fuck, the thought of like hearing my own voice. I used to want to just like get a pair of scissors and headbutt them so hard. It was ridiculous. Yeah. I couldn't even comprehend even now. There's no chance I'm editing my own video.
I know, and that's what I struggle with as well. It's like,
because you start looking at it and you're like, oh, you hear yourself say something, you're like, oh, what an idiot.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh, it's like,
yeah, I remember there was, I'm pretty sure anyway, inside thing for all you listeners, if you guys do listen, you will pick up on what I say. I always say, what's the one saying, Nick, you know, what's the one saying that I always, it's like, you know what I mean? Or you know what I'm saying? There's always like a little phrase like
everyone's gonna notice that now.
It's like there's always like a phrase like or something like that.
Mine's like also.
Yeah.
So
and I remember in the first one I listened to it and I was like, fuck me. And I literally wrote it down. I was like, I'm never gonna say it. And I think I was trying to like do it, but now I just can't give a fuck. Like my wife, we'd be laying in bed and she'll like say to me, it was the other day actually, it was something that you chopped up in one of the episodes. I said something, but it was out of like context. I'm not that great with words, guys. Let me just tell you, I was a D and E student. I did not get an A my whole fucking life. I was not a great student. I think I ended up doing an OP rating and I think I got like 24 or something. And let me just say, 25 is the bottom. It rated from like 1 to 25. And I was like, I think, any further down south, it wouldn't have been that good. But so I am not that smart with English anyway. So, but she, like my wife, like hey, like A+ student, like best of the best. But like we'll be laying in bed and she'll show me a video and she'll be like, can I give you some advice? And I'm like, well, you're probably going to give it to me anyway. So yeah. She's like, yeah, well, next time you say this word, like that's not how you actually say it in that context. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then it's like, it's just fucking. So I'm always trying to improve, but I'm at the point now where I just let it go. Like I don't care. As long as I'm not hurting anyone's feeling. Well, fuck, I can't even say that because I have hurt people's feelings and I don't even mean to. I just try to be myself.
You gotta stop overthinking it too much sometimes. Otherwise, you'll just make
even
it worse.
Even me sitting here with like being a host. Even I hate that fucking word. Even being a host, when I have guests talking, because I'm trying to think about the next question or the next thing. Yeah, you do. You like fucking. I'm like unraveling all these things in my head, and then I like lose track of exactly what the fuck we're talking about. I'm like, so like.
I even do that as well. Like
fuck. But anyway, guys, listen, it's a fun journey. If you guys think about doing a podcast, fucking do it. But yeah, definitely think about it before you do it.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, fuck. See, we're cruising. All right. Now, being a female in the industry, I've tried not to maneuver the conversation too much about that because I feel like for the listeners, they should go onto your stuff and listen about that. We've had other females in the industry about it, and I think everyone is pretty well aware of the common challenges that you guys face. Like, you know, as I sort of said, I've got 2 daughters of my own. Yeah. And I get it. Like, I get it. I've also employed female, you know, tradies and apprentices as well. So I see it every day. And I didn't want to make this conversation sort of about that. I wanted to talk mainly about you and about the trade and all that sort of stuff. So, but if you were to give, and you've probably done this before, right? If you were to give females in the industry some advice, or let me just say, females looking to get into the industry, you know, what sort of advice would you give them?
So firstly, I guess I reckon just if you are passionate about something and you're interested in something, give it a go. And like my biggest piece of advice my mum ever gave me, and this is like the saying I'll take with me for the rest of my life, is what have you got to lose? Because you can do anything, give it a crack. You know, if you don't like it, you don't like it, you can move on. You know, you're only trying it out to start with. But so what have you got to lose? And I guess just the general industry in general, you know, it's predominantly a man's world. So, you know, you're going to expect to use dirty toilets and stuff like that. That's just something you have to suck it up. Like at the end of the day, you go camping sometimes, don't you? You know, the toilets out there are probably just as bad as what they'd be on site. So, you know, it's just things like that. And, you know, if you ever do have a problem, like there are like a lot more females in the industry now. Like I'm a mentor to women as well. So if anyone ever does need a piece of advice, you have any questions, like I've been in the industry for like 7 years, just over 7 years now. So, you know, I'm always free to reply.
Do you think it's got better in 7 years?
It definitely has. Yeah. So like when I started, there was like it wasn't common at all because it was 7 years ago. So I feel like there's been a massive change. Like even just the last 2 years, there's been such a big change.
I've seen it massively, like massive change.
Huge.
Even on job, like not even just about not even about females being in the industry, but I've even seen it on jobs, like the change, right? Toilet scenario. You just sort of talked about that, right?
Yeah.
In the commercial space, like the union will shut the site if there aren't.
It's massive now.
Yeah, it's huge, right? So, and rightfully so, like it fucking should be.
Yeah.
You know, it's now, I've even seen it in the last 5 years. I've seen that mentality come down the chain to resi, like on the low side now, where it's even happening now where they've got female and male toilets.
Yeah.
You know, even when we were doing jobs, it was a requirement, part of our contract was that we couldn't actually initiate the contract or come on site if they didn't have that. So it was just like pushing that towards the builders and developers, and it is changing.
That was one thing I hated in Perth was like if because like I guess the Portaloos must have been hard to get there, but if there was a toilet within the 900 meters of your job site, they wouldn't put one on your job site. So I went to so many jobs when I had my business, and there wouldn't be a toilet on the job because there's one 900 meters down the road. I'm like, do you think I'm paying my freaking employees and myself to go 900 meters down the road every single time I need to go to the toilet? It was just ridiculous, and especially me being a girl on site, I was like, I actually need a toilet. The boys can
whatever, but they shouldn't have to anyway.
They shouldn't have to
and that's what this is the argument that I have. It's like, even now, right? So we currently don't have any female tradies working for us at the moment. But even then, like I've had instances where it's just like, it's all right, there's no toilet. Like I don't give a fuck. Like there should be, guys or not, right? Because they think that just because we don't have a female work for us that the standard should slip.
No, it shouldn't.
They're like, but you guys are boys. You can just piss on the fence. You can do that. I'm like, fuck no.
Yeah. Then what if you need to do something else as well?
That's what I mean. But I'm like, they shouldn't fucking have to do. No. Like, but then when I used to have females working with us, the fucking thing would change. Like toilets would get cleaned. There'd be enough toilets. Like there was making sure there was water there. They're doing everything correctly. Like. It comes obviously with that, but then it would, so I've seen it literally happen like that. And I think the industry is getting better with it. But, I'd like to see more girls get involved. Because it is good. It is a good trade. And I think you do have to have tough skin.
Like I'm not gonna tough skin for sure.
I'm not gonna sit here and paint the fucking thing that it's not. I think everyone knows, right? That you are gonna get. And it's sad to say it, like it is going to be hard.
Yeah, but it's like the same thing. Like, if you don't have tough skin, that's not something that you're going to be passionate about. Like, you're not going to have the tough skin to do it. You just do a different trade. Like, just do a different field. Like I think a lot of people that come into the industry have that tough skin or know they're going to have that tough skin. If not, there's other careers out there, Yeah,
100%. And trial. Like, as you said, like go there and do a trial.
Yeah.
Work for a week.
Yeah.
Like,
and don't ever be scared to ask for help as well.
Yeah. And just ask them. And then like, if you're not happy with that trial, go on trial again.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you'll get a taste of what it's like. But hey, where are we at? Ooh, we're nearly there. We've got 3 minutes. But Monique, I want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I know we actually covered a lot. It's been good. I think we actually got heaps done. So I want to thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it. And I wish you all the best on your adventures in Brisbane.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Don't uproot anytime soon because...
No, I'm not. I think I'm here to stay. I've been struggling now for too long to leave. So, I've definitely got a lot to achieve that I haven't done yet. So I'm not leaving until I achieve something.
Good on you. Good on you. You've done heaps. You're doing well. So, all the best. All right, guys. That's it from me. And I will see you guys on the next one. Hey guys, thanks for listening to this week's episode. If something hit home for you, it would mean the absolute world to us if you could like and share this podcast with someone else that would benefit from it. Tune in to next week's episode as this will be one that you don't want to miss.